Most people take road trips to relax. I took mine to test how many times a human heart can skip a beat without exploding. From glaciers crashing onto highways to sheer cliffs with no guardrails in sight, I set out to conquer 5 of the world's most dangerous roads armed with nothing but a rented car, shaky nerves, and an alarming lack of survival instincts. I live to tell the tale, but just barely. Buckle up, grab a map, because this ride is anything but smooth. Number 5. Karakoram Highway, Pakistan to China. Driving the Karakoram Highway feels a bit like driving into the heavens. Stretching over 1,300 kilometers, it connects Pakistan's Gilgit-Baltistan region to China's Xinjiang province, slicing straight through some of the most breathtaking landscapes on Earth. It's not called the 8th wonder of the world for nothing. Engineers battled avalanches, landslides, and extreme altitudes during its 20-year construction. While the road was upgraded in 2023 with better asphalt and widened sections, nature remains undefeated. Every twist of the highway offers either a soul-stirring view of the Hunza Valley or a boulder ready to smash your windshield. And glaciers? They're not distant beauties here. They sometimes spill onto the road like uninvited guests at a party. One moment, I was marveling at Pasu cones poking the sky like dragon's teeth. The next, I was nervously swerving around a sudden rockfall. Pro tip: if a local truck driver honks at you on the Karakoram, it's not a friendly greeting. It's basically saying, move or be flattened. Beyond the physical challenges, the highway weaves through rich culture and history, with roadside markets selling juicy apricots, intricate handicrafts, and the occasional steaming cup of salty butter tea, an acquired taste. Trust me. Stopping at Adabat Lake, which was created after a massive landslide in 2010, feels almost surreal. Crystal clear turquoise water where a village once stood. Higher up, the Zoji La Pass offers views so spectacular, it feels like peeking into another world if you can breathe. That is, because the oxygen levels up there are about 50% of what you're used to. Wildlife also makes occasional appearances. Himalayan ibex nimbly balancing on sheer cliffs while you struggle not to fall off the road in your car. Every few kilometers, vibrant Pakistani trucks, painted like rolling art galleries, remind you that you're traveling not just a route, but a legend. I kept oscillating between awe and sheer terror, which is, I suppose, the proper emotional cocktail for surviving the Karakoram Highway. Number 4. Death Road, Youngest Road, Bolivia. They didn't nickname Bolivia's North Youngest Road Death Road because it sounded cool. It was earned, with an estimated 200 to 300 deaths annually before improvements were made. The road plunges nearly 3,600 meters from the misty heights of La Paz to the lush Amazon basin, often narrowing to a mere 3 meters wide. Imagine squeezing a tour bus, a herd of llamas, and a cyclist, me, onto a goat path with a vertical drop of over 600 meters on one side. Add thick clouds that transform your windshield into a frosted window, and you have a recipe for an unscheduled meeting with gravity. I rented a mountain bike to ride downhill, which sounded fun until I realized braking too hard could either skid you off the edge or somersault you into the next life. At one point, an actual local truck driver overtook me while casually sipping matcha tea. I considered crying, but the altitude already had my sinuses working overtime. Still, the jungle views as you descend into lower altitudes are so dazzling they almost make you forget you're flirting with death every meter. Before safety measures were introduced in the mid-2000s, including building the new, safer bypass route, this road was the main commercial connection between La Paz and the northern jungles. And when it rained, which was often, parts of the road simply dissolved into waterfalls, erasing chunks of ground like some sort of vengeful nature edit. Even today, despite most heavy traffic diverting to the safer alternative, Death Road remains popular among adventure tourists with a questionable sense of self-preservation. Some sections are so steep and muddy that I half expected to see Indiana Jones being chased by a boulder. It's tradition here for downhill traffic to stay on the outer edge, meaning bikers like me had the pleasure of riding literally inches from oblivion, while giant tour buses rumble by on the safer inside lane. On the bright side, if you do survive the trip, you get to pose under the infamous Death Road sign and brag to your friends. I did, although in the photo my hands are still visibly trembling. Number 3. Zoji La Pass, India. If there were an Olympic event for most terrifying mountain drive, Zoji La Pass would bring home gold. Sitting at a giddy 3,000 528 meters above sea level. Zoji La is the main gateway between Kashmir and Ladakh, two of India's most dramatically beautiful regions. But beauty demands a blood price here. The road is often no wider than a large SUV and has no guardrails to speak of. And forget about stable pavement. Landslides, snow, and mud routinely turn it into a slush pit. I was barely 5 minutes in when my car tires turned traitor, skidding like I was auditioning for Fast and Furious. Himalaya drift. Locals navigate it daily, driving with one hand and a casual wave, while I was gripping the steering wheel so hard it probably has my fingerprints embedded permanently. During winter, the pass becomes impassable, buried under layers of snow, and even in spring, you'll be dodging ice sheets bigger than your average apartment. As I edged nervously along the cliffs, a mountain goat stared at me like it was thinking, "Amateur." Number 2. Skipper's Canyon Road, New Zealand. Skipper's Canyon Road outside Queenstown is a heart attack in the making disguised as a scenic drive. Winding its precarious way through narrow canyon walls, it traces routes originally carved by desperate gold miners in the 19th century. It's just 22 kilometers long, but it feels like 220. Your knuckles will be white the whole way. The gravel road is barely wide enough for one car, and if you meet another vehicle, congratulations! You've entered a spontaneous reverse for your life contest. Rental car companies in New Zealand actually have clauses specifically banning their vehicles from Skipper's Canyon. Naturally, this made me more determined to try it. Every bend reveals a drop so sheer that even your GPS seems to gasp. Yet somehow, even as I clutched the steering wheel with desperate optimism, the beauty stole my breath more than the fear. Towering cliffs, the emerald shot over river below, and skies so blue they look photoshopped. It's almost like Mother Nature said, "Let's make it gorgeous, but make them suffer." Number 1. James Dalton Highway, Alaska, USA. If there's a place where asphalt meets madness, it's Alaska's James Dalton Highway. Stretching a lonely 666 kilometers from Fairbanks to Prudhoe Bay, this road was built to service the Trans-Alaska Pipeline, and it feels like it hasn't been upgraded since. With only 3 tiny settlements along the way and no regular gas stations after Coldfoot, population, handful of brave souls, it's less a road and more an existential journey. Temperatures here can plunge to minus 60 degrees Fahrenheit in winter, and even in summer, rogue snowstorms appear faster than you can say, "Where's my jacket?" Trucks rule this road, blasting down gravel stretches so fast that small cars like mine are treated as target practice for flying rocks. The grizzlies? Oh, they are real and they love the Dalton. At one point I stopped to take a photo and realized I was being watched by a bear who clearly thought I was a snack delivery service. There's no mobile signal for hours, so when things go wrong, and they often do, you are left relying on the kindness of the occasional trucker or your own, non-existent, survival skills. And that's it, folks. I somehow survived glaciers, cliffs, bears, and the worst case of road trip anxiety known to mankind. If you enjoyed riding shotgun with me on the world's most dangerous roads, make sure to smash that like and subscribe. Drop a comment below and let me know. Which of these roads would you dare to drive? See you in the next adventure, hopefully with fewer near-death experiences and more snacks.